Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Spawn movie. We've got an update. This was teased on Todd Mcfarlane's Instagram and Twitter. What essentially looked like a 5-year-old had scribbled on MS Paint, saying, "Huge news tomorrow. We've all been waiting for it." And you know what? As much as my voice sounds sort of disappointing and things like that, I'm not. I actually think this is genuinely positive step towards the Spawn movie actually happening. So don't take my demeanour as anything, related to this by any stretch of the imagination. I am genuinely supportive of this move. Spawn movie finds new writers with Joker and Captain America 4 scribes. This is good. Now, if you don't know, the Spawn reboot script that was written by Todd McFarlane was terrible. It was really bad. It was awful. It was generic at best, and wholly just insulting at worst. So the fact that he's got other people to jump on board and write it is genuinely good news. This still really isn't a step in the right. I mean, this is a step in the right direction, but this still isn't news. Nothing's actually happened yet. And these, it's just, this is difficult to get super excited about. But this is a positive step. Okay, this says to me that he's relinquishing some control, and you know what? He needs to get this off the ground, because he says something in this article which I just thought, God damn! Like, I've been saying this every single time we do an update. So Blumhouse's Spawn movie is getting a new jolt of creative energy. So Scott Silver and Malcolm Spellman and also Matt Mixon. So quite a few actually, which I'm surprised that they need 3 different writers, but okay. They're teaming on a new script for the feature, which has been in development at Blumhouse since 2017. You know what? It's not though. It's actually been in development since long before that. Jamie Foxx remains attached to star, so that puts a lot of people off. Just from comments, I know people don't care for Jamie Foxx being in this. That's the general census that I've heard. So McFarlane is of course going to be the producer, but ladies and gents, what about the director, I hear you say? Well, McFarlane had been eyeing the director's chair, and this was one of my common complaints about this, was that they were never going to get it off the ground. They were never going to get it off the ground with him as the director. They just weren't. Because no one's going to invest $100 million in Spawn and go, yeah, here you go, Todd. Just jump in that chair, mate. He's directed nothing of feature length. But obviously he wrote the previous draft of the script, which was god-awful, and hopefully they don't base anything off of that. That's actually online. You can find that. And Spawn does genuinely appear as a bed and also fog, like a gas. Might as well have been a fart. But the comic book writer and artist acknowledges he may not be the right person to direct. Oh, my lord. Finally. He's seen the sense. So you're going to start speaking in tongues. Particularly now. These people are funny. Particularly now that some of the highest profile writers in the comic book movie space are involved. They're not really the highest profile writers. They're good. They are good. And I'm keen to see what they do. But this is what he says. Get past all that shitty Pepsi adverts. He says, if we've got an A-list actor. Is Jamie Foxx A-list? Maybe. A-list producers, A-list writers, then do you want to shoot for A-list directors? A-list cinematographers, McFarlane tells the Hollywood Reporter. The answer is, of course, let's keep the momentum going. So that's him basically saying, yeah, I'm done as director. We are looking for other people now. And I will be curious as to who they get, because I think who they get as a director this early on will show that this is based primarily off the previous script and not a new one, because who's going to sign on to this without that much of a script ready to go? But also it's going to tell us, generally speaking, the tone as well. The director will be pretty influential in setting the tone. So that's important. I'm keen to see who that is. Spellman notes that Spawn holds a special place for him. Usual waffle that they will say. I grew up in Berkeley, which is a comic book city. Todd Mcfarlane's Spawn character was always one of my favourites. A black superhero that was no bullshit. He was cool and dealt with modern issues. Myself, Matt Mixon and Scott Silver are pledged to honouring what Todd started. Hopefully not, because that script was terrible. And what Spawn is at its core, delivering something that's relevant and edgy and unlike any other superhero movie out there. Well, previously, Todd McFarlane had concerned most people because literally in the height of BLM, he starts saying, yeah, we need to do stuff that's current. You're like, whoa, okay. It's going to be odd. So, yeah, that was never going to be a good thing. In fairness, so hopefully they're getting way off that. I don't want to watch Spawn, the BLM Chronicles, for fuck's sake. Silver and Spellman have both, and in fairness, BLM have done enough damage to the States and other parts of the world. They don't need Spawn to help. It was basically hell on earth with all those fires. Silver and Spellman have both put their stamps on the comic book sphere. So Joker, obviously, that's made him huge. So Silver and director Todd Phillips obviously got Oscar nominations for that. And Silver also was Oscar nominated for writing The Fighter. So, you know, there's good pedigree. Spellman created The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which not a lot of people like. Or some people do, some people don't, who knows. And he's currently writing the high-profile Captain America New World Order. So they've got good gets for this Spawn. I'm really surprised they've done that. Mixon came up with documentaries and then helmed a music doc Yesterday Was Everything about the hardcore band Misery Signals. They seem to be doing quite good things, you know. So Fox remains attached. He's not got loads calling for him. Jeremy Renner was going to be on board. Don't think he is anymore. So, interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, will it be R-rated? So, Todd says, why not just go for the guy... as for the latest iteration of Spawn, McFarlane cites seeing R-rated Joker in 2019 as a turning point, with him wondering, why not just go for the guy who wrote the movie? So that's why he did it. So it's probably going to be... I mean, it is going to be R-rated, hopefully. It was a complete Hail Mary. Sometimes timing is everything, he says. So there you go. This is actually good news. Finally. Spog is no more, hopefully. Yeah, thoughts. Thoughts.